The Book of Hosea. 10 years after Amos had preached in Bethel, another prophet came on the scene. He was to be God's last prophet to the northern 10 tribes of Israel. We have already noted that Hosea's ministry was a real contrast to that of Amos. This time, it's affection rather than accusation, wooing rather than warning, tender rather than tough, mercy rather than justice. It is God's final appeal before the 10 tribes disappear. A key word unlocks the whole prophecy. It is the Hebrew word chest. The ch is pronounced like the ch in lock, k. The word is no exact English equivalent. It is essentially a covenant word, used to describe those with whom you have a covenant relationship. It does mean love, but it has an awful lot of the word loyalty in it too. True love is not love unless it is loyal. Chesed is often translated as loving kindness or faithfulness. Faithfulness is used 60 times for this word in our English Bibles, while kindness is used 9 or 10 times. It means unswerving love and undying devotion. It means we're so committed to someone that we go on loving them whatever happens. The Old English word troth is close. The word betrothed is still used by some. It may be very significant that the word troth itself has died out, because this kind of loyalty has died out too. Love is too often known without loyalty. People enjoy love with someone for a while, then drop them for someone else. A covenant love. The whole relationship between God and Israel is a covenant love, and therefore a chest, stay with it love. Indeed, the book of Hosea depicts the covenant love of God for his bride Israel. On God's side, God covenanted to look after them, protect them and provide for them. He had rescued them from Egypt, and at Sinai had offered them the opportunity to be his people, which they had accepted. He was looking for glad, eager obedience, for a bride who wanted to live the way he wanted her to live. On Israel's side, Israel was to respond joyfully to God's demands, knowing that because they were given for their good, they would be a delight to obey. David's Psalms express his delight in the law of God. The longest psalm in the Bible, 119, is entirely about the benefits of the law. But as a whole, the people of God did not obey, and by the time of Hosea, their failure was most pronounced. God had to say through Hosea's messages, "What's happened to our marriage?" He assured them of his loyal love, but was certain that he was receiving very little back. In order for Hosea to understand God's feelings, God took him through an extraordinary experience. God often prepared a prophet through his relationships or lack of them. God told Jeremiah that he must not marry, because he had to tell Judah that God too was now a bachelor. From the loneliness of not having a wife, Jeremiah learned how God was feeling without Israel. Ezekiel was told that his wife would die, but he must not weep for her, in order to show Judah that God too had been bereaved of his wife. In the same way, Hosea was taught how God felt by obeying some unusual instructions with regard to his marriage situation. The background, chapters 1 to 3. Chapters 1 to 3 give the background to the story. They are autobiographical, and indeed are so fantastic that scholars argue whether it's fact or fiction, or whether the order of the chapters is different from the order of the events. But I believe we are safe to take it in its plainest, simplest meaning. The first 3 chapters give us the storyline of the prophecy.